Welcome to the second International Conference of Metrolab. First of all, I would like to thank the Minister President of the Brussels Capital Region and the European Regional Development Fund who are supporting the Metrolab and who have made possible the organization of this event. As you may know, Metrolab.brussels is a transdisciplinary, applied and critical research team studying the urban transformation in Brussels and analyzing the evolution of urbanism as a public policy. It's a living lab. It's aided by an academic consortium of 4 UCL and ULB teams in sociology, urban planning, architecture, and geography. Metrolab.brussels brings together in one cluster 14 research projects on Brussels. We organize thematic seminars and workshops along the year. We also run collective initiatives in partnership with Brussels stakeholders working on urban issues. And every 2 years, Metrolab organizes an international program, including a masterclass and an international symposium on an issue challenging European public policies. Urban inclusion for the first 2 years, urban ecologies for the 2 following, and urban production for the last 2 years on the program. Tonight, Mathieu Berger, or the Metrolab General Coordinator, will have the pleasure of presenting the book, Designing Urban Inclusion, summarizing the first cycle. Through all these activities, Metrolab.brussels creates a space of collective learning and exchange where academic researchers and stakeholders can come together and engage with one another. And so, the current cycle focuses on urban ecologies and ecosystems. I would like to insist on the transdisciplinary meaning of both terms. The goal we are aiming to is to mobilize the multiple conception of ecology as a basis for reflecting on the interdependencies between the components of a city, humans and non-humans, and the environment. More specifically, we felt the necessity of exploring the concept of urban ecosystem in relationship with urban policies. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, the term ecosystem has been proposed for the first time in 1935 by a British botanist, Arthur George Stanley. In Brussels, the concept of urban ecosystem emerged in 1974 in the context of studies conducted by the interdisciplinary team of Paul Duvigneau. The goal of these pioneers was to provide a broad perspective of the interdependencies that exist between human and non-human worlds. Today, the notion of ecosystem remains as relevant as ever. It shows a way of seeing the world and challenges us to build a scientific approach to complexity. The ecosystem approach is a drive of research and innovation, as well in natural science, social science, engineering, living space studies, as well as in the humanities. Taking advantage of this conference, it seemed to us interesting to come back on several dimensions this concept take in different disciplines in order to learn how they can help to understand and manage urban transformation. We'll invite you to explore 4 different perspectives. This morning, we'll learn how the notion of ecosystem is grasped in the fields of political ecology and natural ecology. And this afternoon, how does it occupy the field of social ecology? We then have a final roundtable where 3 members of the Metrolab Scientific Committee will join the speakers of the first 3 sessions to open up answer to the question, what are the steps towards an ecology of territorial knowledge? This roundtable aims to open a transversal perspective where ecology appears as an epistemological attitude. It will feed the reflection of 4 parallel workshops in which we invite you to participate tomorrow afternoon. These workshops will enable us to discuss with several Brussels projects supported by the ERDF, the European Fund for Territorial Development. We try to describe this project through the lens of an ecosystem approach. The goal is not to evaluate the projects themselves, but to explore the urban ecosystems of which each project is a part. It's about thinking together how to contextualize this project within the broader framework of urban ecosystems. Our hypothesis is that the ecosystem approach will enable us to learn more about how and under what conditions ERDF-funded projects contribute to the transformation of Brussels. We hope it can help us to go beyond the sectorial and administrative scope, which reduce by necessity the concept of project to a short-term management problem. From an administrative and institutional point of view, the ERDF program is indeed a budget line and a normative system of management criteria. During the cycle of project, once accepted the justification and taken the decision of funding, the question of the urban effect of the investments is no more an object of research. It comes down to those of knowing how to ensure the land property, how to manage the programming, and how to guarantee the successful completion of the works within the given deadlines. Looking at it from an ecosystem point of view, it appears quite different. Every day of life of such project reveals the existing but also the missing connections between the project system and their environments. The mapping of these ecosystems gives to see, if one could observe, new conditions for these projects, or other spin-off projects, to contribute to a long-term systemic transformation of the city region. We need to reveal these potentials and look for allowing them to be unfolded in all their magnitude. An ecology of territorial knowledge is what we collectively need to solve this double bind. On one hand, the short-term need to manage investments, and on the other hand, the need to explore the conditions for long-term ecosystemic territorial approach. We have to invent and test new interdisciplinary tools for critical evaluations and for ecosystem project support. That's the challenge. I will end here my welcome speech, just adding that tomorrow morning we invite you to a guided boat tour on the canal so that you can have an overview of what is today the most important site of project in the Brussels capital region, and also the hosting ecosystem of many ERDF projects. Thanks to you all for being here. Thanks to the FEDER and to the Brussels capital region for allowing this event to happen. Thanks to the KVS team for welcoming us today and tomorrow in this so exciting place. Thanks to our speaker and guests for their contribution and great implication. Thanks to the ERDF projects operators for giving their times and exchanging their experience. And last but not least, thanks to the working group in charge of the organization of this event for the Metrolab. Sarah, Louise, Geoffrey, Roselyne, and Corentin, and to the colleagues and friends, Maglone, Marco, Louise, Marine, Barbara, Jean-Michel, Benoit, Mathieu, Christian, who came on the deck for the last step on the realization. I will now give the floor to my colleague Geoffrey to open the first session. Thank you.